This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Oporto Chicken. Fresh, not frozen, grilled, not fried. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.
Hello Australia, episode 574 of The Couch is coming your way from the studio here inside in Leederville, our real television studio. Love being here, thanks for your company. On the show today, we've got Brendan Merzer talking about real things. Will and Grace, are they coming back? Wait to speak to Brendan. Later on, we're talking travel with Steve Collins, a very special guest with him today. Cameron Lynch is back. We're also talking Expressible, and we've got music with Mel K. So let's get on with it. Stick around, it's a big show. 574 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch.
Hope you're feeling all right today. We're going to have a big show. I was just looking down at the CD, Upside Down Town. She's going to be performing that very soon, but now she's going to be feeling all right. Mel K opening the show. Here she is.
Yeah. Oh, you say I've had enough of your lack of trust in me and your insecurity, baby. Well, I say I've had enough of the porn in your drawer and the ex that you talk to, cause you talk less to me than you do to her. Lips, they keep moving and mine, they keep talking, and we're shouting, again, it's true. Lips, they keep moving and mine, they keep talking, and I'm shouting, again with you. Yeah, I say, ooh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I say, ooh. Yeah, thank you. Cause without you, baby, I feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright. Yeah, I feel just fine. Oh, you say, why do you hate my mates and not like me checking out chicks and need me to be there from time to time? Well, I say I've always loved them and I don't need you, baby. Think you made that shit up in your mind. Lips, they keep moving and mine, they keep talking, and we're shouting, again, it's true. Lips, they keep moving and mine, they keep talking, and I'm shouting, again with you. Yeah, I say, ooh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I say, ooh. Yeah, thank you. Cause without you, baby, I feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright, yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright, yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright, yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright, yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright, yeah, I feel just fine. Feel alright, yeah, I feel alright. Feel alright, yeah, I feel just fine. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I say, ooh. Oh, thank you.
thank you, I thank you. I sang that better than her. Brendan Murdson, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the couch.
Thanks for having me again.
Oh, look, they had that little noisy little opener there. Where have you been? I haven't seen you last week. Is that because we moved your day?
Probably, yeah,
Good.
because you asked
I'm
me not to
glad.
come, so... Yeah.
Because we had to watch the new Will and Grace that came in.
Yeah, so...
What's all that about?
So last week it was the presidential debate between Donald and Hillary, so Will and Grace kind of had a reunion to celebrate and show how crazy Trump supporters are, basically.
There it is there.
So that was the first time that they were on screen in 10 years. It finished in 2006. And they kind of portrayed each of the characters with a different viewpoint of the current election. So Karen's supporting Trump, Jack was undecided, Will and Grace were after Hillary. Voting for Hillary?
Yeah, I watched this. I actually watched the 9 minutes. They ran a lot of footage. They did about
Yeah, they
half an
cut
hour.
about half of it.
Did
yeah.
you watch it?
Yeah, I loved it. I
Did
thought
you
it was
like
really
it?
funny. It was like that no time had passed, I thought.
Yeah, look, I was saying to you off air, I thought they were really good because the show is quite a popular program. They're talking a lot that they might be coming back. There's a lot of talk in the
Yeah, they
industry
said
that-
never say never, but, you never know.
I don't know. Time passes, and I think they all look good. A couple of them, I reckon, have aged a little bit, but it might have just been the makeup, I guess. But I think they could come back and still be relevant. Do you think they could work if they came back?
Yeah, definitely. The video has about 5 million views, I think,
Yeah.
at the moment after just a few days, and they all look pretty much the same. It was really funny, the same set. The creator kept the set all this time, so yeah, it was cool to see them again.
Well, I think they have to make sure they get Will and Grace back. Otherwise, it'll be hard to call it Will and Grace if it's just Will.
one half.
Will or Grace. But no, look, a good show. They obviously made their point about the elections that are happening over in the US.
Encouraging people to vote, so...
And for Clinton, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
From the messages I picked up was they weren't fans of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
There was a lot of fun there. But you know what? Good show. If it comes back, I'm sure people will love it. And because it did go out on a high when it did end about 10 years
Yeah,
ago. wasn't it?
2006, yeah.
So if you haven't caught it, folks, go online. You can actually see it. Put in Will and Grace Donald Trump or election or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and
they've done
you'll
that.
fi-
They've
you'll
done the
find it.
hashtag Vote Honey, so they're saying to just vote.
Okay. There you go.
So another show that is actually just started last week is called Son of Zorn, and it is a half animated, half live action show. It's really silly.
animated?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy. They've got an animated
Is that
character.
not called Sunrise? That's sort of half animated.
Well, there's the cow. There's the cash cow. That's true. So this one.
don't talk like that about Koshy, please.
This one there is an animated warrior
We're
named
watching the
Zorn.
clip.
He's voiced by Jason Sudeikis, who's in Horrible Bosses, and he's a warrior from the South Pacific Island who comes back to California to connect with his ex-wife and his son. But his ex-wife and his son are live-action people, so.
So what's the point of having a cartoon? Is he supposed to be real but cartoon?
I think
Can
it's
they
supposed
see
to be,
him?
Yeah, they can see him. It's like a little gimmick. It's, I'm not sure if the critics are really loving it that much. It's got a bit of mixed reviews, but it started on 11 last week.
Do you know
in
Australia did try that a few years ago? We had a TV show, night TV, like a Tonight Show type thing, with a figure that was an animated guy hosting it, interviewing real people.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
I forgot his name, but I
Andrew
remember that.
Denton, I think, was the producer of the show. I can't remember the actual show.
The guy behind a desk.
Yeah, he was behind a desk, but he was animated and he was interviewing real people. But it never worked. Australians didn't quite like it, so I don't know. Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to last for that long. It's only 13 episodes, so
And where can we watch that?
So in Australia, it's on 11 on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock.
Beautiful. And what's it called again?
It's called Son of Zorn.
Son and Zorn. There you go.
And another new show I was looking at this week was called Westworld. It's from HBO, which is the same network as Game of Thrones, and it's being, spoken about as being maybe the new Game of Thrones. It's the same kind of cinematography
Really?
and nudity and violence.
Same people making it or not?
No, not the same people. This one is actually based on a 1973 film which was written by Michael Crichton, who did Jurassic Park. So its explanation is a dark odyssey about the dawn of artificial consciousness and the future of sin, and it tells a story of a futuristic theme park which is called Westworld. So people go to this theme park and can kind of have their desires met and all sorts of things, but they're not real people. So it's kind of like a Matrix.
Was that the Silence of the Lambs guy? That I
Yeah,
saw?
so it's starring Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
also Evan Rachel Wood. And
Looks good.
the third Hemsworth brother is in it as well.
Which is the third one?
The third one, Luke.
They had a third one?
Yeah, the older one. So
Oh,
he's
watch out,
slowly
Home
getting
and
there
Away.
as well. So he has a small role in it, but it looked really good from the trailer. Like it's got some pretty. It looks like a movie, Like
That's what I was looking at,
Yeah.
and I thought maybe it's a movie. You know how sometimes they do a movie, then they go into series.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not that sort of thing.
yeah. So it's going to be on Showcase in Australia on Foxtel. So
And I've got to give a plug to a show called A Place to Call Home. Sunday nights, I think it's at 6:30 Perth time, thereabouts. Sunday nights on Showcase, Soho, Foxtel. Fantastic. It used to be on 7.
Yeah, the first 2
and
seasons.
I love it. I've really got into it. Incredibly fantastic show. And there's a show on Channel 9, if you haven't caught it, I think Wednesday nights, called Doctor Doctor.
Okay, I saw that on
Got the guy
Dollar Box.
from, it's the guy from the Hyundai commercials, used to be in Rush. Fantastic show. If you haven't caught it, give it a go. Doctor Doctor, and also one on Channel 10, which I absolutely did adore. It's one called The Wrong Girl. It's based on a TV show, and it's all about working on a TV show. They've got people like Craig McLachlan in it, the lady from Pact of the Rafters, the Perth girl, Jessica Murray. There's a whole cast there of people that you'll recognise from all different shows. Fantastic show. The Wrong Girl on Channel 10, I think it's also Wednesday nights, and also Doctor Doctor on Channel 9. Wonderful as well on the commercial networks. And all the stuff on Foxtel as well. And Will and Grace.
On YouTube.
What's your tip? Do you reckon they'll come back?
Oh, who knows? I was reading some interviews and they were saying, Deborah Messing was saying that maybe they could come back on like a streaming service type thing. They won't be able to be on network TV,
Netflix.
they don't think, because it's too hard to get everyone together on,
Yes.
you know, a stable, you know, weekly thing. But Arrested Development came back on Netflix, so that was an old sitcom that came back.
And you know what? It never works. They tried to bring back Married with Children and a Full House as well.
Well, Fuller House is back. That's actually apparently the biggest rating show on Netflix.
Yeah, but not on commercial TV again. So, you know what? Maybe that's the way to go. Netflix or one of the streaming services.
places.
Well done. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
See you then.
Brendan Mernson, thank you very much for being here. Time now to talk to the guy who knows everything about travel, our very good presenter who's back from Singapore, and I think he went somewhere else, over to Sydney as well. Over to you, Steve.
Thanks very much for bringing the travel segment back, Fred. I think it works very well. And I've got a special guest today, Fred. His name is Tony Giles. And Tony Giles, he's a constant traveller. He's travelled to 116 countries. He's done bungee jumping. He's been thrown out of planes with a parachute, of course. And he has the most exciting adventures now. I've got Tony with me. Tony's British, and Tony is blind, and it's quite remarkable that Tony does all this on his own, and currently he's with his girlfriend Tatiana, and they just travel the world. I happened to bump into them in Perth, and so I thought, well, bring Tony in to talk about him. Now, Tony, how did you get your travel bug? What was it that inspired you to get out there and discover the world?
My old man, he was in the Merchant Navy at the end of the Second World War. He told me stories about travelling across Australia by train. Took 7 days, and going up the St. Lawrence River on boats, the ice flowing down, and then got the opportunity to go to the States with the school. I went to a special school. When I was 17, went over to Boston, and like that, impressionable people, big streets, everything was bigger, and that was sort of the start of it, really.
So how do you decide, because you've travelled to 116 countries, this
Yeah.
is the second time you've been to Australia, here about 15 years ago,
That's
I think.
right, yeah.
So how do you decide where I'm going to go to? And do you just get a section of the world that you want to see and go, or or do you do a lot of research?
I do a lot of research. I've got a computer with a speech screen reading software that speaks to me, so I can type in the internet, and so I'll stick in Perth at Wiki Travel or Lonely Planet, and so look at the sites I want to see, and I go to the same places that people who can see do, but we try and get people to guide us around and give us information, or things we can touch, or things we can smell, eat that. So I see the world through my senses rather than just my eyes.
I was going to say that because one of the photos that you had was you at the bottom of the Angel Falls in Venezuela,
highest
which is
waterfall in the world.
the highest waterfalls in the world. And, you know, that's that. Do you get any sense of the size of the drop by the sound or the voice?
Yeah, a little bit
to
by
it?
the sound. Obviously, I spent 3 hours hiking to it, so you get a sense of all that, how you're hiking up, the gradient's getting higher and higher, the air's getting thinner, but it's just the sense of the achievements, the sense of the hike, feeling the different gradients under my feet, the different textures of the plants, the soil. What's the whole challenge of getting there, and then you're sitting on the rock and you're hearing this water dropping over, and it's a sense of energy, a sense of freedom.
And the other thing is, you don't travel around the world easily because you're in Perth, you've been couch surfing, you do a lot of couch surfing now. Previously you were staying in hostels and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've also camped as well in Africa, Canada.
So, what inspires you just to go and do that? I mean, do you have any fears or about travelling by yourself as a blind person with Tatiana?
No. It's a bit more difficult with Tatiana because it's bleeding the blind, literally. So I worry if she sort of walks into something, I sort of have a heart attack. And when I'm by myself, I don't have any worries. I have a natural ability and faith in my ability to get from A to B. And it's about confidence, which I got at school. Teachers told me I would go out, I would do things, I would catch buses and trains, and I've just transferred that knowledge and that confidence. And it's just, I started with countries where I speak the same language and the infrastructure was similar, like Melbourne, on a grid system, I could just count blocks, the same in New York. And then when I got that confidence, I went and did it in Vietnam and Thailand. And you just got to ask people, you got to talk to people, and say, hey mate, where are you going? Can you help me go this place? We walked around Perth and we wanted to go to the Mint. I said, oh, which way's the Mint? Hey, you just walk up 2 blocks, you cross the lights, turn right, and you just keep asking, and that's how you do it.
That's great. Now, you've written a couple of books as well, haven't you?
Yes.
And these are e-books, so they're available online. They're
Yeah.
not generally found through bookstores. So
No.
can you just tell us about your books?
Yeah, so I've got 2 books out. First one's called Seeing the World My Way. It's about why a blind guy want to go and see the world, and the smells and sounds and how I do it and why. And that's the States, Australia, New Zealand. And then the second book's just come out. It's called Seeing the Americas My Way. And it's about a trip I did in 2004 around South America, eating lots of different food, and then up into North America, the States, Mexico, Cuba, and eventually Canada. And they're available on Amazon and Cobalt, the usual. And also my website, tonythetraveller.com, and I'm on Facebook, Tony Giles, Giles 4. That's where you can find all about me and my travels and my videos and blogs, and yeah.
You're a most amazing man, Tony. I've spent a couple of days with you, and it's just fantastic to see the way that you actually do see things through your hands.
Yeah.
So it's been a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
Steve Collins from Radio Roaming, and back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much. Can I, just a quick question to ask Tony. Tony, what's the worst country you reckon you've ever travelled to?
Worst?
Yeah, one that you didn't like.
Australia? No. Probably Armenia is the most difficult.
Yeah, fair enough. And why is that?
Just because, a language barrier. I don't speak Russian. Very few people speak English. And just, I found it very cliquey. I found you would get off at the bus station or the train station and a taxi driver would pick you up, and they'd pass you on to someone else who'd try and sell you a hotel or a
Fair
hostel.
enough. And what about the best country so far? Obviously Australia.
The best? Obviously New Zealand.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, if you-
Fortunately, we're seen in New Zealand.
well, there
Yeah,
you go.
very
Thank
good.
you very
Yeah,
much.
great place.
You know what? I think
Hi,
you make
Kiwis.
an amazing travel writer, because I have to say to you, if the person like yourself with impaired vision, or you're blind in your case,
Yeah.
tells me which countries are the best and which ones not, I know you do it by feel.
Yeah.
And I think I would actually trust your opinion, because if you haven't seen it with your own eyes and you can still tell me what a country is like, I tend to believe you.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a wonderful thing you do, and I look forward to your books. Now, if people want more information, there is the website there. It's tonytraveller.com. And if you missed that one, it's on the screen, right? tonythetraveller.com, sorry. tonythetraveller.com. He's also got a Facebook page, which is on screen right now. And you can also look up Steve Collins' website, which is radioroaming.com as well. There it is for more details, because Steve travels everywhere. Do you know what we're covering next time you come in?
I have no idea when you're having me on again next time.
In a couple of weeks.
All right, yeah, I'll travel. I'll find
There'll be
somewhere.
somewhere you've
I'll
been to.
find somewhere.
Thank
Don't
you to
worry.
Tony. Thank you to Tatiana for coming in. Thank you for Steve for bringing you guys in. You're doing a wonderful job, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Cheers, g'day.
Well done. Thank you very much. We need to take a break. Be back with more of The Couch. Demel's is talking music. Cameron is talking movies. And we're also talking Expressible for anti-poverty. See you then. Well done. Welcome back to The Couch on Aurora Television, only on Foxtel. And with us today, I welcome her back. It is Demel Zelena.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back. And 7 weeks to go,
7
thereabouts.
weeks out, countdown is on.
Baby coming.
Getting.
Are you excited?
I am now. I am now. I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, quite
And how
excited.
are you feeling generally?
Generally okay.
Yeah?
The
You're looking
cankles
good.
and the swelling of the hands have only just started, so
You don't
not
have
too
swollen
bad.
hands yet, but you can
Today's a
feel
good
it.
day.
Is that when
Today's
your
a good
rings
day.
are really tight?
Can't put them on.
Because I've got that problem, but I'm not pregnant. Must be something else. I better go to the doctor. Thanks for coming in. No ABBA news, I
Right.
noticed. So thanks
No,
very much for doing
no.
music. Let's go for it now.
Well, we do have other baby news in the music world.
Really?
Maroon 5. So Adam Levine
He's
and
having a baby.
well, he's had a baby. His absolutely
Maroon 5.
stunning supermodel wife, Bahati, has
I love Maroon.
given birth to their first daughter, and her name is Dusty Rose.
beautiful baby there on
Like,
screen.
gorgeous.
Tell me, are they still doing a lot of music, Maroon 5? Because I haven't seen them for a while.
They
Anywhere.
are. Well, he's kind of been on The Voice in America at the moment, so he's been doing a lot of things in terms of television. But they are on tour, and they've had to postpone the tour because the impending arrival of Dusty was on its way. So they've put that on hold, but they haven't actually announced any new dates or any new projects. I think they're going to give Dad a bit of time with the new bub, and then he'll come back.
So there's no Maroon 5 without him, sort of thing. He's just
he's the frontman, so you know he's the voice
You're
behind
not likely
the
to get
band.
Vanessa Amorossi filling in for
Oh,
them.
I hope not.
No.
Adam Lambert.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations. Thank you.
And Lady Gaga is having an absolutely massive. She's back.
Now, is she the one that released that single where she was nude for the elections? Is that
Which
her?
one?
Or is
They
that
all.
There's someone that did a commercial for the presidential elections naked, but I don't know if it's Katy Perry or her. Might be one or the other. Anyway, I'll
Not
let
too
you.
sure. I know Katy Perry's been quite heavily involved with Hillary.
It could be her
with
that's
this.
done a nude one,
Could
telling
be.
people to vote.
Might be, because she has got a new song out called Perfect Illusion.
could be.
It's coming off her 5th studio album. She's got 5 albums. Joanne, which is due out at the end of this
Because I
month.
auditioned for that nude election commercial, but they said
you
something
missed
about
out.
they want people to vote, not vomit. That's okay. Fair enough.
So, well, she's back. She's taken some time off the American Horror Story.
There she is
This
there.
is her at the Super Bowl last year where she performed the national anthem, and she will be at the Super Bowl 51 halftime show headliner.
Yep.
So, like Beyonce did last year, this year it's going to be Gaga. And she announced it on her Twitter. This year the Super Bowl goes Gaga. So it'll be quite exciting
She's
to
such
see
an
what she's
amazing
got.
lady. I like her.
She's one of those that she's shown just how much of a talent in music she is. She can write music, she can perform music, she's got so many different styles and variety, and she's quite passionate about what she
But do you
believes
remember when
in
we
as well.
first heard of her? She had the meat on her and she had all the crazy outfits and everything
Yeah,
to make the
the
attraction.
Kermit the Frog dress.
And she
Yeah.
used to wear steaks and that made into a dress.
Yeah.
And that. And I thought, oh my God, another freak. And then I thought, wow, she's actually not.
When
She's-
you actually see her perform, and even the album and some of the duets she's done with Tony Bennett as well, just
No,
fantastic.
look, I think she's an amazing singer, a very good singer, a great artist, great businesswoman.
Yes.
And
An
I
actress
think, and
as
an
well.
actress as well. And I think she knows the lines there and what she has to do to cater for her audience. And I
Yeah.
think she does it well.
Yeah,
Very
very well. Now, someone else who sings quite well, maybe not as much as Lady Gaga, Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls.
Is she back?
She is back. Well, she's doing solo work now. She's not with the
there
the
she
Pussycat
is.
Dolls. She is. I almost gave it away. Working with the Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas.
Now, this actually a story came out a little bit earlier this week
Okay.
that she was going to be the female vocal for the Black Eyed
And what
Peas.
happened to the one they had?
Well, Fergie took her spot because Scherzinger
Yep.
decided to be part of the Pussycat Dolls instead. So,
So they've done a backflip.
well, she's come back, but she is collaborating with the Black Eyed Peas, which is Fergie, Applejack,
On
Taboo,
their new album.
and will.i.am as well. So they've been spotted in a studio in West London,
Mm-hmm.
Metropolis Studios. So it looks like there is a Black Eyed Peas album with a few collaborations, including.
Do we know
Nicole
roughly when we
Scherzinger.
might see it?
Possibly next year. They're all still in the studio, so I'm assuming it's all
So
getting put
something
together
to
at the
look
moment.
forward to.
Definitely something to look forward to, and something else to look forward to. Ended this month, if you are an Empire of the Sun fan, their LP Two Vines is released on October 28th. They've got the third single has been released off the LP called To Her Door, not to be mistaken with Paul Kelly's To Her Door.
Do we have a clip of that? Do we get a clip of that? Or
It
we haven't got a
hasn't
clip? No,
quite,
I don't think we
it's
have.
only the song's
Oh,
only
there it
just
is.
been released.
It's just the song. Can we hear a little bit of it? I think we can hear it. There's Ben putting it.
Very 80s
Beautiful.
synth. They've teamed up with Lindsay Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac to create this song.
Holiday Road,
So-
Lindsay Buckingham.
Yep.
Do you know what? I like that tune because it's upbeat. and
It is upbeat.
poppy.
They said very 80s synth, very joyful chorus, and it is quite
I'll write
catchy.
that one down. I've got it on your list here.
There you
Looking
go.
out for it.
Musical critics
Empire.
are saying it's going to be a bit of a big track.
Do you know
for
what?
summer.
I like music like that because everything now sounds the same, and at least it's going, even if it sounds
It's
a
a
bit
little bit
80ish.
different. And you know what? It's great to see them back
Yeah,
together,
I
Nick
think so.
and Luke from Empire of the Sun working together again. let's have a look at the ARIA top 3.
Top 3 as they are this week. Let's have a look at number 3.
Pint-sized pop star Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj with Side to Side.
Beautiful. At number 2.
Number 2, Callum Scott with his version of Dancing on My Own.
Done that before. Dancing on My Own. Number 1
And
this week.
7th week in a row, Chainsmokers featuring Halsey with Closer.
Do you like that song?
I don't mind it. Having said that though,
I'm over
7 weeks, yeah.
Do you know what it is? Do you ever, as a radio presenter as well, because I know you play your music as well on the radio, do you ever listen to a song and go, how is it so popular? It's crap. There's some songs you wonder...
Having said that, and no offence to Callum Scott fans, not a fan of the Callum Scott version of Dancing on My Own. Prefer the Robin version, which was the original track.
There you go, a bit of controversy at the end.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. There's no radio show at the moment because you're having a break before
on break.
the bub. And
On
7.5 weeks you have a baby, but you'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I will be.
Well done. That's Demelza Leonard. Thank you very much for coming in. And
Thank you for
can go and
having
rest
me.
now. Thank you very much.
much.
Now, for those people wondering what's happened to our website, it is still there. If you go to www.thecouch.com.au, that's thecouch.com.au, you will still see all the stuff that you used to see on our website, of course, being the Couch website, but it is the Facebook page. But everything's on there, whether it's the movie reviews by Michael, whether it's the Couch show that goes on every week, and anything else that's on there, like competition, etc. They're all on there. So please go to www.thecouch.com.au, the normal website, and everything will be on there. Now I've got to look at this camera here because it's time to introduce our next guest. His name is Aaron Young from Expressible. Welcome back.
Hi Fred, how are you?
Good, thank you. Nice to have you here. For those people who don't know, Aaron, tell me about Expressible. What's it all about?
So Expressible is the highlight event of Anti-Poverty Week.
Yep.
We use music and art to encourage conversations about poverty in the West Australian community.
Okay, well tell me about Anti-Poverty Week, because those people who don't follow it, why do we have it? What is it?
So you may or may not know that there's over 2.5 million Australians that live below the poverty line, and there's about 10,000 homeless people living in Perth. So it's a big issue in Australia. And so Anti-Poverty Week is a week to encourage discussion about the causes and consequences of poverty, to encourage research, and to encourage people in the community to take actions and create activities so that people can engage in these conversations.
And how, from your opinion, being involved with this for 5 years, how are we going? Is poverty still out there and is it getting worse, or are we improving the situation? Are there less people that are poor?
Well, for me, it's a really complex thing. So in some areas we are improving, and then in other areas we're seeing increases in poverty.
What can society do, from your point of view? What do we need to do more as individuals to help?
Well, there's a number of things we can do, but I think on a personal level, where people can actually make a difference is by engaging with people in their life around conversations. Last year I found myself in a situation where I was living below the poverty line.
Okay. Which isn't hard to do.
It's not that hard to do, and to give you an idea of what poverty and what extreme poverty looks like in Australia, so below the poverty line is about living off about 50% of the median income, and extreme poverty is about 30% of that. So living in extreme poverty, which there are many people that live below that line, is usually covering your housing expenses on average, plus having about $130 a week to live off, which when you're talking about food,
Power,
bills,
food,
medical expenses,
it's not a lot.
It's not a lot to live off, and it's really easy to get yourself into a situation where you're in a bit of trouble. And the reason why they've put that line there is because that's where they start to see people become isolated from society. So that's, I think, one of the big areas, and why we work on this, using music and art, is because once people experience social isolation, there's a number of mental health issues and a number of, problems social issues that come up for people. And
see, I think the most important thing about poverty is the exclusion. You feel removed from the rest of normal society, and it's a horrible stigma, and it's hard for people to be included in society when they feel like they don't have the means to support themselves, the means to survive, the means to pay their bills. So I think Expressible and what you guys do is an incredibly important one. Tell me why Expressible is important to you. Why are you so wrapped with the idea of Expressible? When
I started it was because I I hadn't engaged with poverty and on a personal level before, and I saw that there were people struggling, and I wanted to do something about it, not knowing that a couple of years later that I'd be in that situation myself.
Yep.
So now it's really important to me, because I've experienced it for myself. It's important for me to be able to share my experiences and to open up space for other people to do that. One of the things that I found was toughest is when I was in that situation, I felt a lot of shame, and I tried to tough it out by myself for a couple of months before I actually said to the people around me, I need a little bit of help. Can you please, help me out a little bit?
And men tend to not talk as much as women do. Men tend to keep it to themselves as well. There's a feeling of defeatedness or embarrassment to tell people the problems that they have with poverty. And it's the same with everybody, I suppose. But men, in your case, would have been a hard time for you. And hard to speak up. Expressible, the event that's happening up this year. Tell me what's happening with that.
Okay, so we have got 11 performance groups ranging from some bands. So Philip Wally Stack is going to come back and perform this year. We've got Young Robin. They just won Gozzy Rock about a month or so ago. There's some great young folk singers. We've got a couple of schools involved. Balga Senior High School, who have been an amazing act for the last 2 years, are coming back to steal the show again.
Fantastic.
And there's and there's also we've been working with one of our partners, Foundation Housing. They're a social housing company that's really committed to the well-being of their residents, and so they have a number of really great artists that reside within some of the properties that they manage. And so we've been working with them and some of the other residents to organise a big art instalment for the day.
So tell us when it's going to be and where it's going to be.
So it is going to be on the 22nd of October in Forest Place. So that's the big space just near the train station there in Perth. And that's from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m.
So it runs for about 6 hours.
About 5.5 hours, yeah.
And how much does the event cost?
So the event is a free event.
Yep.
And that's thanks to some of our generous partners.
Tell us who they are.
So Foundation Housing. We receive a lot of support also from community organisations, and Daniel Kerr and his promotions company, Rad Promotions, has been really supportive. So he's going to be down there. He's going to be participating in some eating competitions on the day. So if you want to challenge Daniel Kerr to an eating contest, definitely come down. And also ECU has been really supportive this year.
But we're still plenty of room there. You've got your Fund Me page as well, that you want people to go to that page and fund you and try and help you raise some more money to run the event?
Yeah, that's correct. So given the economic climate in Perth at the moment, we have also been raising a little money through through a GoFundMe campaign. So if you go to our website, you can get more details on that and find the link to donate.
Fantastic. The website is?
www.expressible.com.
Fantastic. It's on the screen right now. Please support them, expressible.com. That is the website. It is, of course, very important that you try and help them get some funding. You've been doing it for 5 years, Aaron. It's going to be a great event. Bands, music, fun, family day in the city. Well done. Thank you very much for coming in today, and good luck with the event on the 22nd of October.
Thanks for having me.
Well done. That's Expressible, and time is running out. We've run out of time on this time of the segment. Coming up after the break, Cameron Lynch will be back to talk movies. So stick around. Big show still to come. Well done. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the couch here in Aurora Television, only on Foxtel, and welcome back to Cameron Lynch, who's been away for a few weeks.
That's me.
It is nice to see you back.
It's a pleasure and a delight to be here as usual, Fred.
And I did ask you about your Hong Kong trip. We're going to let that one go because it wasn't the best holiday.
It was good.
It's
had its merits as any long-term
Is Hong Kong
vacation.
cheap? Is it a cheap place to travel?
Relatively, yes. Not as cheap as it used to be, but the dollar is always up and down. But I think because of certain factors, it is quite inexpensive to go there.
And you know how now it's back under China rule?
Yes.
Right? Is it different to when it was under the UK, or do you not know?
Not a huge amount. I mean, sociopolitically, to
the politics
skew
side
this
of it,
particular segment. But yes, as a tourist, you don't really notice.
No.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Now, what's happening in movies?
Plenty of stuff happening in movies this time. All the buzz at the moment are things based on real-life events or novels, which is fine because you get that inspiration there, and then you can have creative license and this, that, and the other. And the first cab off the ranks is Deepwater Horizon. And for anyone who's watched the show more than once or seen my segment more than once knows that I'm exactly not the biggest advocate of Mr. Mark Wahlberg. But in this instance, he actually does a good job leading a cast with also Kurt Russell, John Malkovich chewing the scenery, and I believe Kate Hudson as as well in this. So it's based on I think an explosion on a oil rig off the coast of New Mexico in 2010, and it's basically the real life events. Now, what I do with these movies, by the way, here's a bit of behind the curtain for you. I actually watch the trailers first and then check out the reviews, because then I'm not skewed. If it's a crappy review and they poo-poo it, then I'm going to go watch the trailer and go, that looks lousy. But I like to go in with a clear mind. So Mark Wahlberg is great in this. I like this. This is the level of action he needs to do at his age. But it's a double-edged sword, because now he's done so many terrible films. I keep seeing the guy from Pain and Gain and Ted and all that sort of stuff in a good film like this. So it kind of works against itself and for itself. Good action, good thriller. Again, based on true story, but give or take there. A bit more of a popcorn flick, but a bit more thriller as well. Currently 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's got a bit of a thumbs up from the reviews, from the aggregates. So let's take a look right now.
How's it going?
Honey, show Daddy. I'm not done. You did such a good job.
It's showtime. You can use your props.
My dad is Mike. He works on a drilling rig that pumps oil out from underneath the ocean.
And we're the explorers.
Like Dora.
Like Dora.
That oil is a monster. Like the mean old dinosaurs all that oil used to be. So for 300 million years, these old dinosaurs have been getting squeezed tighter and tighter.
We get it. Just use 2 titers.
Then Dad and his friends make a hole in their roof.
Yeah.
And these mean old dinosaurs can't believe it. Freedom! So they rush to the new hole. Then smack. They run into this stuff called mud.
Get in there.
That they cram down the straw. Hold the monsters down, we build them a new roof.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Oh,
Very proud of you.
you're getting so heavy.
Stay 10 forever, please.
Fossil.
Oh, yeah.
I will.
I want to be able to hold it up and say my daddy tames the dinosaurs.
Deepwater Horizon. The trailer I watched was far more exciting than that one, so you can go on and check that out at your leisure. Again, 81% Rotten Tomatoes, currently in theaters now, so check it out when you have time.
Fantastic. What's next?
Next is A Girl on the Train. Now, this is based on a Paula Hawkins best-selling novel. Emily Blunt is in the midst of a very messy divorce, but every day she travels via train to her work and sort of has a Walter Mitty moment and watches the lives of a seemingly perfect married couple in a house as she travels, until one day she sees the wife of this couple sort of mysteriously disappear. She's the only one that seems to be aware of this occurrence, and she gets embroiled in what essentially looks like a very gritty action thriller. Think about
exciting.
Gone Girl, and again, these things are sort of being adapted by best-selling novels, so the screenplay kind of writes itself. Emily Blunt looks excellent, also stars Laura Prepon, Lisa Kudrow, Justin Theroux, and Edgar Ramirez. There is no consensus at the moment, because at the time of recording this, it's not actually released, but for me, I think this looks really good. It's really gritty, a lot of action, great performances. I'd be really keen to see how it goes, and again, think Prisoners, think Gone Girl. Are you a fan of these sort of
Yes, I
books
am.
turned to
I
movies?
actually,
Or?
not so much the book,
Yep.
but I saw the trailer, and I'm going to see the movie next week. And I actually think it looks exciting. It looks edge of your seat.
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully, the trailer isn't the best thing about it.
That would
Because
be
that's the
100%
biggest
correct.
letdown when you watch these things and you
Absolutely.
think, oh wow, the trailer was the best thing about it. Anyway.
Hopefully that will not be the case. The Girl on the Train, let's take a look.
A teacher once told me I was the mistress of self-reinvention. It's like having a secret. And nobody but me knows I'm doing it.
I saw her
I saw her from the train. She was with this man. Just for a second.
Is this her? Can you tell me where you were Friday night?
I was in the city, and then I went to visit my husband.
You mean your ex-husband? It's my understanding that the woman who has gone missing was his nanny.
Rachel, I need you to stay away.
So what did you do during those hours that night?
I don't remember. There's some time missing. What happened that night in the tunnel? Tell me the truth.
You were seen in the area that night. Did you murder Megan Hipwell?
No. I'm not the girl I used to be.
Why are you here?
Because I'm afraid of myself.
Girl on the train.
The Girl on the Train.
Looks good.
Worst first date movie ever. In theaters now. You can check it out at your thrilling peril. Speaking of thrilling, the next is also based on a book, a trilogy of books. Inferno, based on the same novel by the same name by author Dan Brown, who did Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code. Tom Hanks reprises his role as Professor, name who escapes me at the moment, Woody McToy Story. It's irrelevant, right? So, yes, Professor Woody McToy Story, and he needs to decipher the riddle of Dante's Inferno and extinction level event, etc., etc. Look, this is expertly directed by Ron Howard, who I adore, but this film doesn't need to exist, to be perfectly honest. It's
gone too far.
Well, it's like they refuse to make a film series based on the Uncharted game series, which is pretty much what this is without a action protagonist. And I love Tom Hanks, but he just seems to be working incessantly. Like, Sully has just come out, and this is just about to come out as well. And then when the tail end of this season finishes, something else will come out. Like, give the dude a break. He's getting on. Like, he's not like an action star sort of thing, but they're kind of doing a James Bondy thing and a Bourne edit. I don't know what they're doing with it. Obviously, for fans, I'm not saying it's a bad film, but it shouldn't be on your top of 2C list.
Could it be, as ABBA once said, I work all day, I work all night to pay the bills I have to pay. And then they go, money, money, money.
Oh, yes, because
it could all
Tom
be
Hanks
about
is
money.
completely broke, evidently.
Oh, yeah.
He's
not making in this cafe commercials
I
yet.
think he enjoys these sort of high-octane things for his age group. And again, when you get a chance to work with Ron Howard, why
He's a
wouldn't
great
you?
actor.
Absolutely. It's Inferno. Let's take a look.
There's a switch. If you throw it, half the people on Earth will die. But if you don't, in 100 years, the human race will be extinct. I left you a path. The hardest one yet. Only you can finish it. You are humanity's final hope.
It's Dante's Inferno.
Dante defined our modern conception of hell 700 years ago. Why Dante? Why this map of hell? Someone created a plague.
Without Professor Langdon, no one can find the virus.
Oh my God.
Ooh, Inferno's going to burn the box office.
Inferno. Yes, it does look good. It looks action-packed. And if it is your bag and you've been keeping up with the Dan Brown sort of movie adaptations, definitely for you in cinemas now.
You are just a mastermind about movies.
Oh, that's why Fred makes the big bucks. That smooth transition, like spun
But there
silk.
can be two of us, and we'll call ourselves Masterminds.
Yes, we won't. Masterminds is a comedy that's just come out, and This is a funny one. It stars Zach Galifianakis, Kirsten Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Leslie Jones, Kim McKinnon, Kate McKinnon, and also Owen Wilson.
Hangover 4?
Well, you might recognise the female cast from the Ghostbusters film, and you think, oh, well, now they're just all going to be put as this sort of female comedy pastiche. But you'd be incorrect, because this film was actually made in 2013.
And it's not funny.
And I'm getting to that. Thanks for
sorry.
crapping on my point there.
Yeah.
Yes, so basically it's about again, based on a true story about a bunch of sort of armored cars being robbed in the US in the 80s. And also the lead role was apparently meant to be filled by Jim Carrey, who bowed out for whatever reason. He obviously felt it was a terrible film. And Zach Galifianakis went in and stepped in this role. Screwball, oddball comedy. It should be far more better than it is, if that makes any sense. Again, my English is suffering because this film is so bad. I'm getting multiple wrap-ups. But I need to keep going because this is really important. It's directed by Jared Hess, who did Napoleon Dynamite. That's why this film suffers. Great performances, great comedy, but it's a disjointed mess. It's Masterminds. Let's take a look quickly. Go.
My name is David Gant. I always felt I was destined for a life of adventure. It didn't quite pan out that way.
There he is, the man of your dreams. It's like you're marrying both of us, David. Me and Mama.
Don't speak, even whisper. Then one day, I met Miss Kelly Campbell.
What would you do with $1 million?
Probably start my own business. Maybe be a bounty hunter.
Nice.
You know, put a cap in their house. Oh, that burns!
Oh my gosh, David, let me see.
Oh, God!
I think that bullet just went straight between your cheeks.
Yeah, it feels like it just grazed my biscuits right there betwixt them.
Kelly tells me y'all work together over at Loomis. That strikes me as an incredible opportunity.
You talk about robbing a bank. How hard can it be? You load up a truck, and you drive away.
Police are calling it one of the largest cash heists ever.
17 million missing.
Authorities are now searching for this man.
Look at him. Look like Kenny Rogers and Kenny Loggins had a love child. And then Kenny G, he just showed up to the birthday party, started playing the flute, and messed this boy up.
Let's blow a zillion, baby.
It's time to cut David Gant from the team.
We can't do this. This is wrong.
So, who y'all want me to kill?
Whoa! Not now, not in front of.
Is it one of them?
No.
Boys, go upstairs right now.
See y'all in a little bit.
I spend it all on you.
Save Chambers, you double-crossed me.
David?
Yeah, I'm right here, Sugar Bush, okay? Don't worry about a thing.
Oh!
Lord, that's a cheap door.
You gotta give me a 3 count next time.
Brace your boobies.
What?
Sometimes the only way out is through.
I might stick to my Hyundai.
Masterminds. Again, 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not certified fresh, unfortunately, but in cinemas on October 13. So check it at your peril.
Top 5 movies for this week. Let's take a look. And as they roll this week, number 5, it is.
It is Pete's Dragon.
Number 4.
Storks.
Number 3.
Sully.
Number 2.
Bridget Jones's
and
Baby.
Number 1, your favourite movie.
Secret Life of Pets.
Thank you very much to Cameron Lynch. As always, we'll see you hopefully next week.
Hopefully, yes.
And we'll take a break and see you at the other side of the break because we've got more couch coming up. See you then. Well done. Thank you.
My pleasure.
That was it. Welcome back to the couch. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We're right out of time, so only time to talk to my fantastic music guest, Mel Kay. She's here on set. Tell me a little bit, Mel, about Liberté, your band.
Liberté? Well, it's a 10-piece band. We all studied at WAPA together for the last 4 years. We formed in 2015, so the bass player, guitarist and keys player and drummer. And then we all had the same ensemble. So we played together for a year, and then at recital, all these other people came on, obviously, to play various parts for the songs at the Ellington Jazz Club for my graduation recital. And then we continued on from there, and we've had multiple gigs and a label from Sydney now interested in our work, which is fantastic. So, yeah, very excited.
Fantastic. And you've got a double single coming out very soon as well. Tell me about that.
That's right. So it's a double single. So we have 2 songs on it, Upside Down Town and Feel Alright. Upside Down Town is about living the right way up in a world that can often be upside down. And Feel Alright is about knowing your worth in spite of other people around you. So, yeah, the idea behind these songs was to empower people to know that they can do things with their life and, yeah, be who they want to be. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here today. Now, tell me about your website if people want more information.
We have a Facebook page, so Mel K featuring Liberté, and you can go there and we have all the info about our next gig and gigs and all that jazz.
Well done. Thank you for being on the show today. We look forward to you singing.
Thank you for having me on the show today, Fred. I've loved being here.
I'm glad you've loved being here because we're going to love seeing you perform. Thank you for watching The Couch today, everybody. Big show next week. Please stay tuned. Mel K sings us out with her brand new song called Upside Down Town. See you next week. Bye.
Bitter pill, sweet embrace, faceless faces, they still sit down the hatchet gate, pour the grace in. Fish line cracks, they gauge the pay. Oh, what you wanna be? You wanna be my lover? I wanna be my sister. I wanna be my brother. Oh, what you want from me? Or did you want to use me? It made me feel less than loosely human in this place. Well, I'm singing, I wanna live the right way up, the right way up, my love. No, I wanna live the right way up, singing, enough's enough. I'm sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. So sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, town, town, town. So pour the melody on the words, make the rhyme, spin a verse. Pour the melody on the ways of a man who can say what he needs to say. Oh, what you wanna be? You wanna be my lover? I wanna be my sister. I wanna be my brother. Oh, what you want from me? Or did you want to use me? I made me feel less loosely human in this place. I'm singing, I wanna live the right way up, the right way up, my love. I wanna live the right way up, singing, enough's enough. I'm sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. So sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, downtown. Wanna be my brother, be my sister, be my lover, be the other man who takes the money from my hands, works once a week, doesn't give a damn. My toolmaker, my heartbreaker, earthquake shaker, bright smile faker, lives a life of money and will never ever understand all that you wanna be. You wanna be my lover, I wanna be my sister, I wanna be my brother. Oh, what you want from me? Or did you want to use me? I made me feel less than loosely human in this place. I'm singing, I wanna live the right way up, the right way up, my love. No, I wanna live the right way up, singing, enough's enough. I'm sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. So sick of living in upside downtown, 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 downtown. Done with living in upside downtown, downtown.
This episode episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Oporto Chicken. Fresh, not frozen, grilled, not fried. And Scoot Airlines. Get out of here with Scoot.